Hello and welcome everyone to the ceremonial ribbon cutting for Ravine Landing. We are so appreciative of your attendance today on this beautiful sunny morning. Aren't you glad we're not doing it this afternoon? Thank you so much for coming to celebrate with us. My name is Sandy Brewer and I serve as the Parks Director for Washington County, and I will serve as MC today. I am so excited for the opening of this facility and the opportunity it will afford new and existing park users to Washington County. Wasn't it the fly that was at the presidential election that's still in their head? I'm going to have that today, it looks like. I am grateful for all the people who helped make this building a reality. With that, we have 5 speakers who are going to speak today. Our first speaker is one of those individuals who, along with all the county commissioners, provided leadership on this project. Commissioner Johnson was elected to the Washington County Board in 2018. He was elected to the Cottage Grove City Council in 2016, and prior to that, he served 3 years on the Planning Commission. Commissioner Johnson has been a champion of this project. Please welcome Washington County Commissioner Wayne Johnson.
I will try and keep it short so I get claps afterwards too. So I will try and keep it to the script. So what a beautiful facility. It is great that we're doing it this morning, sort of like I was mentioning this last weekend, how lucky timing was where Memorial Day fell on the weekend before as opposed to this last weekend with the heat. So, but thank you everybody for being here. It's a very exciting day. So I'd like to say hello and welcome. As stated, I am Wayne Johnson, District 4 Commissioner for Washington County. On behalf of the County Commissioners, Lisa Wyke, Gary Kriesel, Fran Myron, and Stan Karwoski, I want to thank you for joining us to celebrate the new Ravine Landing here at Cottage Grove Ravine Park. So the park contains steep ravines, which if you have walked it, you know about that. Rolling hills, mature oak forests, and scenic lake, unlike any other park in the metro area. I did not know that when I started reading the speech, so that's pretty cool about our area. The Ravine Landing is the ideal facility to complement this unique landscape and will serve new and existing park users as they explore the park's trails and fishing opportunities. And has anybody been out there fishing? Has anybody fished the lake out there? Do you catch anything? Oh yeah. Awesome. So I get comments every once in a while about it, so that's really cool. This project did not happen overnight. As many people know, we have been working towards this for many, many years. My family's been coming here for 20 years with the young kids, and there's been people here I know that have been going longer than that, and the thought of us getting this is just being able to think that back then. So the vision of Cottage Grove Ravine Regional Park started decades ago as Washington County planned for a new park for communities of southern Washington County. Today is another step for realizing that vision, and it's not the last. We have other things we'd like to have, and I think even our senator has a favorite she would like to see down here. So Washington County is a growing county with an increasing demand for park, land, and facilities that connect our communities to the amazing natural resources we have here in the East Metro. Consistently, our countywide survey and engagement events demonstrate the important role parks and trails play in the quality of life of Washington County. And I think that is because parks are multi-generational. Everybody can go to the park. There's no limitations, there's no requirements. So you can see 4 generations if you, at times, where you have grandkids, great-grandkids, grandparents, great-grandparents. That's the cool thing, is everybody can come here and do something. Whether it's sitting here now inside in the nice cool, the kids playing outside, or even in the winter when they're out skiing and still be inside. So it's multi-seasonal. It's very exciting to see. So with the new Ravine Landing facility, Cottage Grove and Ravine Regional Park is primed to serve the region for many years to come. For example, the improvement will promote use within the park in all 4 seasons, especially in our Minnesota winters. It will be the perfect place to host family gatherings, high school ski meets, and cross-country running races, nature programs, and more. So this is a project of cooperation and coordination. It would not have been possible without the support from our partners at the state legislature, specifically Representative Jurgens and Senator Bingham, and I know Representative Frankie has been a big supporter of this also, even though it's, so, thank you. Thank you. So, I can tell you we are very fortunate in our county and district to have such support from our leaders, and both at the state and the city level and in the county, just because it's everybody really supports parks. Whenever we make that phone call, we get an answer and says, we are there to help you. So that is great. And that builds the support into other areas that we know need to support our area. So the Metropolitan Council, the South Washington County Watershed District, which did an awesome job. So I'd like to throw a shout out to them as far as the new trail coming down. I took that and it's like a brand new trail. And I even took a picture. It looks like if you come down here, it's like an old-fashioned place you can sit down and have shows, kind of where they did the brick and stuff. So that might be a future idea. So the City of Cottage Grove and County's Parks and Open Space Commission has been key and instrumental in working with us. And finally, thank you to the park users for their patience and cooperation during this construction. So on behalf of Washington County, thank you for being here today for the Ravine Landing ribbon cutting. The investment will help Washington County continue to be a great place to live, work, and play today and tomorrow. I would now like to hand it back over to our Parks Director, Sandy Brewer, who was awesome. I'd like to throw a shout out for her. She is her passion and dedication to the parks. It's just it's been a real pleasure to work with you and serve with you. Who will introduce the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We go from what, 6'3" to 5'3" now, so the microphone needs a little bit of adjusting. Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. As a resident of Cottage Grove, our next speaker has represented this area for many years. In a special election in 2018, she was elected to the Senate and re-elected in 2020. She is also a former member of the House of Representatives, a former Washington County Commissioner, and a former City of Cottage Grove Council member. She has been a strong supporter and champion of ongoing investments and improvements to the Washington County Park system. So much so, I can attest to the fact that when we reopened this facility almost 2 years ago, it was the end of June in 2018, we had goat yoga for the first time at this park. And who was in our very first class but Senator Bingham. Please join me in welcoming Senator Carla Bingham.
Thank you, and 5'3", man, I'm gonna use that one for a while. First, Sandy is amazing and her staff. You know, this is exciting for our community, but remember how do you say, like, the reassurance that you get as an employee when you see something like this for the work that you've done. I mean, this is amazing. So I just think this is great. A lot of folks don't know that this has been a phased renovation of this park that started years ago, and I'm just happy that Commissioner Johnson didn't drop the ball and made sure that the phases kept going, and I appreciate my former colleagues. Really, I appreciate Commissioner Johnson's leadership on making sure that the goats stay, that we have goat yoga, and I know that Commissioner Kriesel is going to be joining me for goat yoga this fall. And it really is a gem for this community, for the county. As Commissioner Johnson said, when the county does their residential survey, parks are, you know, the top marker next to our libraries, and it shows that we really do want to invest in our recreational programs, but also in what God gave us here in Southern Washington County. So. I appreciate it. I look forward to still what's coming. I know there are still some additional phases. I look forward to hopefully being part of those. And I think, you know, more for Representative Franke and Representative Jurgens, you know, every year we go up there and we fight for regional parks money in the bonding bill. And just imagine if we were able to get more than the base, what we get, which is $5 million, I think, what we get every year. Just think what we'd be able to do across the metro, but specifically if we were able to dedicate even more resources towards that. But again, thank you to the staff, to the other partners in here, and enjoy the summer and enjoy our beautiful parks. And with that, I'm going to give it back to the wonderful Sandy.
Thank you, Senator. If you listen carefully, that's our flyover. That was planned. Before our next speaker, I would like to turn our attention to the contractors of this project. Often overlooked, they are the companies that work through all kinds of difficult conditions to construct this project. There were 9 prime contractors on this project, along with a half a dozen subcontractors that played a significant role. Please join me in thanking all of them for their work. Also a resident of Cottage Grove, our next speaker has been a leading force in serving District 54B. In 2016, he was elected to the House of Representatives. He previously served on the Cottage Grove Economic Development Authority, the Cottage Grove Public Services Commission, and the Washington County Library Board. He is a strong advocate for his district, including the Washington County Park Systems. Trust me, I've had him out there in the wintertime checking out the boat launch of all things. Please join me in welcoming Representative Tony Jurgens.
I'm pausing on purpose. Listen to those kids. Thank you, Sandy, and thank you for asking me to be part of the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Ravine landing. And thank you to Commissioner Johnson and the Washington County Commissioners for investing in the future of this park. I remember when my wife Dawn and I would bring our daughters Alexa and Tori here over 25 years ago when they were little. And years later I'd bring my friend Tayden. We called it the Adventure Park because every trip was different, a new, different adventure. We'd see birds, we'd see deer, squirrels, rabbits, and other wildlife. We'd ride our bikes in the springtime to see the budding flowers and trees. We'd play on the old playground in the summer and sometimes bring peanut butter sandwiches, juice boxes, and other snacks to enjoy a picnic at the old pavilion. We'd go on hikes, looking at the beautiful fall colors, adventuring on different trails each visit. The maps were available there was a sign back there with the maps. I kept one in my coat pocket for years. It would probably still be there, but I lost the coat. In the winter, we'd get the girls bundled up in snowsuits, boots, caps, and mittens. We'd bring a sled. I'd pull them up the hill so that they could slide down. Then we'd warm up in the car with hot chocolate, which was just part of the adventure. We created lifelong memories on our adventures. In our family, we still refer to this park as the Adventure Park. This new building will provide even more opportunities for adventure, more reasons for this park to be a regional destination, more recreation options for Washington County residents. I'm excited about the possibilities for the future. This past winter and spring, I walked here occasionally. From my home to this exact spot is a 5.39-mile round trip. I saw young families creating memories. I saw moms, dads, children, and sometimes the family dog. I saw them pushing strollers and pulling wagons. They were hiking, biking, fishing, playing on the new playground, and looking for goats. Enjoying the outdoors and fresh air. And now I have twin grandbabies. My daughter Alexa and her husband have already been here with their young family. New trails, new playground equipment, and now a modern new facility for a new generation creating memories at the Adventure Park. Thank you again for allowing me to be part of this day.
Thank you, Representative Jurgens. Our next speaker represents the Metropolitan Council, District 11, which includes Hugo, Oakdale, Landfill in Washington County. Governor Tim Walz appointed Councilmember Vento to the Metropolitan Council in 2019. She has served as a board member for Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity, the National Park Trust, I like that one the best, and many other boards. Please welcome District 11 Metropolitan Council Member Susan Vento.
I must begin with an apology that your representative, Francisco Gonzalez, can't be here today, but he sends his congratulations and best wishes, and frankly, I'm glad he can't be here today because I can't. I have to tell you that, as you were noted, the children, Representative Jurgens, I got a little emotional. I'm a former elementary teacher, and I can't help but think that this is going to be such a great learning center for kids. Field trips are always a lot of work, but when they're as special as a location like this, it'll be worth it. As I drove in here this morning, I was reminded of the area of Minnesota where I grew up, southeastern Minnesota, and as a little Girl Scout, we used to camp at the Whitewater State Park, and driving down in here reminded me so much of that region. It's just brought back a lot of memories. So in addition to being an adventure park, I think for a lot of people it'll be a memory park because it'll be an opportunity to just create beautiful memories. I have prepared notes here, and I'm not going to repeat what everyone else has said, but I do want to make a couple of important notes. This is the result of collaboration, and in the year 2021, following months and months of isolation and angst and contentious situations for a lot of people, during this time when it's hard for people to get together and work together, this is such a tribute to collaboration and working together. And so on behalf of the Met Council, I want to thank and congratulate all of you who have played an important role in this. For elected officials, getting the resources, getting the plans, fine-tuning the vision is so important. For those of you who are in staff, keeping up with those elected officials. Sometimes it's a little bit like herding cats. I know, because I can be one of those cats. And actually I'm allergic to cats, so I don't know why I'm using that analogy. The Met Council was really proud to play a role in this. And I want to note the funding sources. I think the funding mix really demonstrates the kind of collaboration this investment makes. It includes the Parks and Trails Legacy Funds, state bonding, regional funds, and local funds. And that collaboration has created a regional park system that is one of the best in the country. I'm sure many of you saw the recent story about the Twin Cities area having primo parks. And that's not by accident. It's because of good elected and appointed officials who really get the job done. So thank you. I just want to note that when I got the invitation to be here for Representative Gonzalez, I saw the reference to ribbon cutting. And whenever I think of ribbon cutting, I think of gifts. And so best wishes to all of you. And I hope to be here often as we enjoy this beautiful gift to the people in this region and to the people in the state. This is just truly magnificent. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Super Sandy.
Thank you, Councilmember Vento. Next up is a thank you to our consultants, preparing the design and developing the bid documents, including plans, specifications, permits, and many pages of documentation is a major effort. To assist us in this effort, we hire outside professionals that become our project partners. I would like to thank our project consultants, HGA and H&U Construction, for their diligent and collaborative work. Specifically with HGA, Nancy Blankford, Glenn Wagaspack, Rob Good, Ashley Grizzle, and Britt Ehrenler. And with H&U, Andy Hoffman, Lucas Nelson, and Matt Dalsing. Another partner in this overall Ravine project was South Washington County Watershed District. Special thanks to Matt Moore from the Watershed District. I'd like those individuals to stand because there's quite a few of you here, and if I've missed any names from H&U or HGA, can you please stand? Watershed District. Thank you for recognizing our project partners for their expertise and their work. And our final speaker has served as the mayor of the city of Cottage Grove since 2009. Prior to that, he served as a city council member for 4 years and was on the planning commission for 6 years. He has been an advocate for upgrades to this park. Please join me to welcome the mayor of Cottage Grove, Myron Bailey.
All I got to say is, wow, this place is amazing. So, as mentioned, I'm Mayor Myron Bailey. I don't have any of my colleagues here, but I know we've all, as a collective council and our city staff who we have here too, are very much appreciative of the fact that this park is continuing to be invested in by the county and working with the city, as well as our legislative partners up at the Capitol. But I also want to talk a little bit about what was just mentioned about what happened in this last year. So for those that know me, I'll admit I do spend a fair amount of time bragging about our city's intricate trail systems, which, by the way, connects every single park and neighborhoods within our community. And based on our incredible strong partnership with the Washington County, we connected this park with the rest of the trail systems that make up the city of Cottage Grove. The Cottage Grove Ravine Regional Park certainly serves as a point of pride for our residents, and it's part of the charm that makes our city such a unique place to call home. This natural area, from the lakes to the trails to the trees, everything frankly in between, offers folks an incredible place to exercise, unwind, find some peace and quiet, as well as other opportunities that list here or were mentioned earlier, like fishing and so on. I guess another way of putting it is when things kind of got chaotic in this last year with the pandemic, people in Cottage Grove really went out and explored their parks. And when they did that, they also explored this particular park in general. And I know exactly the trail that you're talking about, Commissioner Johnson, coming down, because my family also took that trail. And, you know, when we were supposed to do social distancing for such a long time, there was a lot of times where we all had to kind of go off of the trails because you're passing other people. There were so many people using this park down here. So today we are honored at opening this amazing lower landing facility. It offers park visitors another amenity as it provides a space for the community to gather and perhaps even get out of the elements for a few moments if they need to. If there's one thing that we can count on, obviously in Minnesota, is our weather is ever changing, as we all know. I would like to thank the members of the Washington County Board and the county employees for their vision and their specific leadership on this project. While the city of Cottage Grove continues to grow, our values remain the same. We do love parks, and as a community, we spend a lot of time enjoying nature. We consider ourselves extremely fortunate to have such a phenomenal county park available to us so close to our home main core of our city. And now with this building, this is even a better place than it was even last year. One final comment I'll mention too, because it's been interesting to talk about the different things that this park has been used for. And if anybody doesn't know, I just have to plug our Senator Bingham. I think the county also knows what she wants in this park. She wants a zip line. So we'll see at some point, I guess. Wade's probably going, oh, please, oh, please. Maybe they're with you, Wade. But the other thing I wanted to share with you is, as somebody that has, and again, I'll refer to a townie here in Cottage Grove, grew up, born and raised here, I've gotten to see this park become more and more of what it is today. Whether it's the older playground equipment that used to be here that, Tony, you were talking about, to the, I guess today I can call them very disgusting bathrooms that used to be in the old building here. But I also had the opportunity when I went to Park High School to be on the cross-country team for skiing. And so I got to ski all these hills and such behind us here too. And so the other thing I'll share real quick, and then I promise I'll be done, and that is, you know, sometimes when you look at plans, and I shared this with a couple of you, when you look at plans as it develops over the years, you kind of look at the building and what's going to happen around the building and you go, I wonder if that's really going to happen. Is that really going to be the way it's going to look when it's all done? After going through this building and looking at how things have been designed around this building, the fact of the matter is it did. The way that you can have skiing come down the hill right here on the trail to possibly come in and warm up, everything that you guys planned for in this process came about. So I just want to say congratulations, thank you for investing in our community and obviously in the county. And I will now turn it back to you, Sandy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like to recognize key county staff who, without the hard work and community-focused engagement, this project would not have happened. And while there are many staff involved, I want to especially recognize the following. And this list is kind of long too, but a lot of people were involved in this project. Eden Rogers, our lead project manager on this project. And Connor Lewis, who served as project manager as well. And I'm going to ask you to refrain from applauding till the end because we'll be here forever. So with that, I'll go with the remainder of the list. Wayne Sandberg, Don Tyson, Alex McKinney, Brad Swenson, Mark Perkel, Brad Eller, Dan McSwain, Frank Tickner, Erica Ellison, Greg Wood, Joe Welters, Sarah Armstrong, and Rebecca Den. Please join me in congratulating them and thanking them. Thank you all for attending. In a moment, we are going to ask the county commissioners and all the elected officials to head over to the front of the building, so yes, you're going to be in the sun for a little bit, for the ceremonial ribbon cutting and a photo opportunity. We ask that everyone, we want everybody who's here, once they get into place, to line up behind them. We want a big group photo. In addition, if any specific group, maybe a contractor, your company, if you want a specific photo taken, we are more than happy to do so. Just stick around. Lastly, we hope you'll take a few minutes to visit the inside of the new facility, to look around, and then to enjoy the refreshments, which are over here, which were provided to us today by our contractor, H&U. Thank you for coming today, and please join us for a photo opportunity.